I've worked with several attorneys. They all have forms. They just copy, paste, and replace stuff because the pre-built boilerplate template is already done. Now, I'm not taking away from attorneys. If you're an attorney, you should listen to this.
Real estate touches every one of our lives, yet it is the last major industry to undergo a much-needed digital transformation. That's why the brightest minds, backed by the biggest investors, are on this mythical quest to build one app to rule them all. I'm Sharran and he is Pritesh Damani, and we're breaking down the quest for real estate's holy grail. Welcome to the Super App Podcast.
Hey, this is Sharran, and welcome back to the podcast. And in this episode, I'm going to go a little different and take you behind the scenes and give you one of the biggest sales lessons that I've learned, that if you can solve this one thing, it will drop hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into your pocket. And the main idea behind this is most people unintentionally sabotage the sale. And I'm going to show you exactly why. So if you sell anything that is for professional services, meaning you charge a professional fee, you get commissions, or you sell a complex product or service, then this episode is for you. Now, whenever you are selling professional services, we end up doing something unintentionally. And the thing we end up doing is we realize that the client is hiring us because of our skill and our expertise. And because of that, what we end up doing is we don't let them into the details of everything that is happening. So for example, if I was working with a estate planning attorney, that's professional services, right? And this estate planning attorney, what they do is they give me a big intake form, which is terrible, by the way. Nobody wants to fill out your intake form. Nobody wants to fill out your listing questionnaire if you're a real estate agent, or a buyer questionnaire if you're a real estate agent. Because when was the last time you went to a doctor and they gave you a form and you had to fill out 14 pages and you had to sit and answer all these questions? Did you like doing that? No, it was terrible. It is the worst thing ever. But we still make our consumers do that. Our clients do that. But let's say I do all that work anyway. Right? And then I'm sitting there saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did all of this. And I'm working with an estate planning attorney. And you know what that estate planning attorney says? Sure, no worries. We can get your wills and trusts and wills and living trusts and power of attorney drafted. It'll be ready in 3 weeks and it'll cost $10,000. Now, when he tells me that, one of two thoughts go through my mind, right? One is like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that he's going to take care of it. And the second one is like, all right, he's just going to take some form agreement that he has, that he's already done this for someone else before. He's going to swap his name out and put my name in. And he's going to give me this document. I'm going to have to read it. There's probably going to be errors. I'm going to pay him 10 grand and he's just going to do a copy paste job. I will tell you, 99.9% of people think like that. Me included. You know why? I've worked with several attorneys. They all have forms. They just copy paste and replace stuff because the pre-built boilerplate template is already done. Now, I'm not taking away from attorneys. If you're an attorney, you should listen to this. The reason that happens is we're unintentionally sabotaging the sale because we didn't actually explain the complexity of the process to the client, because all the complexity was taken in the intake form. And we were like, no, this process is too complex. It's too legal. I can't explain all of this to you. So I'm just going to tell you that I'll take care of all of it. And so they just think about, hey, we're just going to make it simple for the client. So they think that we're going to do all the work, and therefore they will take the stress away from us. Therefore, they will have no problem paying the fee because we're taking away all the stress from them. And so they won't worry. And therefore, our fee is justified. Wrong. That is an unintentional sabotage. I'll give you another example. If you're a real estate agent, right? And everybody can understand what a real estate agent does. I will tell you, if you're not a real estate agent and you're a real estate consumer, you have no idea what an agent does. There's so many pieces to this puzzle that you have no idea. So here's what agents do. The average real estate agent will tell the client, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, when we list your home, we take care of everything. Well, first, that's false. It's not even true, right? Because a real estate agent can't take care of everything. They can only take care of the things that they're licensed to take care of. But what does everything mean? Does the client know what the agent does? Does the client know that the agent's going to come by the house and do a walkthrough? The client knows that they're going to do a visual inspection. Does the client know that they're going to actually pay for the photography? The client know they're going to market the property? The client know that they're going to give them a form contract? Does the client know that they're going to negotiate the deal? The client exactly know what actually happens in the negotiation? Does the client exactly know what if the price changes, what they have to do? Does the client know that they have restrictions around what they can do and what they can't do? Does the client know when they cancel and when they cancel? Does the client know? They don't know any of that. What does the agent do? They just say, you know what they say? Hey, don't worry, I'll take care of all of it. That is the unintentional sabotage. All of us as sales professionals, we want to make the sale easier for the client. We know that they are in a tight spot. We know that they need a service. We know that they have a gap of pain that we need to solve for them. So we just say, don't worry, I'll take care of all of it for you. And you know what's worse? We only talk about the sexy stuff. We say, oh yeah, I do this kind of marketing. Especially the folks that are in, like a real estate agent will talk about marketing, the insurance agent will talk about like saving lives, the financial advice agent will talk about like the various products that they have, the tax attorney will talk about like all these protection mechanisms. They talk about the sexy stuff, but they don't talk about how complex it is. So I want to give you this answer right now. The answer to all of this is this one thing, which is showcase the complexity, but deliver the simplicity. I say it again. Showcase the complexity, but deliver the simplicity. Here's how you showcase the complexity. What you want to do is you want to show everything that you are already going to do. You want to show what it would do, what it would take if they were to do that work. A lot of times when I am with a real estate agent in the living room or with my friends or insurance brokers, when I explain to them, I say, explain to the client what it would take for them to do it yourself, DIY. What if they had to go do it themselves? What if they had to be IKEA, where you just said, hey, go watch a YouTube video and write your own insurance policy. Go watch a YouTube video and sell your house yourself. Go watch a YouTube video and, go to LegalZoom.com and prepare your wills and trusts. Go watch a YouTube video and do whatever else, right? The reason you want to do that is you want to show how much effort it takes, because the client is thinking that anyway. And when you say you can just take care of it all, we'll take care of it all, they don't know the complexity of all of it. This comes down to three things that I want to share with you. If you include these three things in your presentation, it will dramatically change how the client feels and the number of referrals that you get, the rapport that you have in the appointment, and how fast and easy they say yes without negotiating your fee. Because the more we say we'll take care of all of it, the less they think you're actually doing. And if they see you do something fast, they'll be like, man, it didn't even take Sharran that long. And they double and triple think everything that you're doing overall. That's why you want to showcase the complexity and deliver the simplicity. There's three ways to showcase the complexity and deliver the simplicity. All right. The first way is effort. And so let me explain what the effort component is. The effort component, I would draw, most professional services are done in a timeline. There's like a bunch of things that happen. So if you are a CPA and you have to file taxes, they're like, hey, you give me XYZ, we do XYZ, and you get XYZ result, right? It's a timeline. Or if you're an attorney, we do XYZ, you give me XYZ, you get the timeline. Or if you're a real estate agent, hey, you list a house, you do these things, and you sell the house. Or you want to buy a house, you do these things, and you buy. There's a timeline. So the thing that I would often offer is you have a blank sheet of paper, and you draw a line and you put it horizontally, which is landscape, right? And you draw a line right through the middle of the sheet of paper. And that is your timeline. And so essentially you tell the client, Mrs. Client, this is the timeline of getting you the result that you want. So let's say you're going to buy a house, right? For example. So, which all of us can resonate with that example. So I'm just going to draw this line on this landscape sheet of paper. And then I'm just going to say, I'm going to mark a mile marker on the timeline saying, hey, this is where we are right now. And what I want to show them is the various things that I do and the various things that they need to do. So I would, what I write on the bottom of the page is our team. And at the top of the page is, I write their names. So if it's John and Sally, I write John and Sally. So the top half of the page is what they have to do. And the bottom half of the page is what I have to do. Right? So I start writing these things and all the things that I have to do in a timeline perspective on the bottom half of the page. So if it's a buy, if I'm a real estate agent, I'm helping John and Sally buy a house. I say, all right, John, we're going to do this meeting. Then I'm going to go put a plan together. So this is again on the bottom. I'm going to, set up a search for you. I'm going to introduce you to a mortgage banker. Then I draw a line up top. I say, you're going to meet with the mortgage banker. But after you met with the mortgage banker, I'm going to meet with them. I'm going to do X. I'm going to then take you on a tour of the houses. I'm going to show you the exact matrix. I'm going to set up a spreadsheet where you can get all the details. You just have to show up to the house. If you notice, what I'm doing is everything that I do as a real estate agent, I put on the bottom half of the page. And everything that the client has to do, I put on the top half of the page. At the end of this timeline, what happens is that The client looks at the page and understands that, one, there's a timeline, and I, Sharran, the agent, know exactly how to get them to navigate on the timeline. Second, they see everything on the bottom half of the page and they're like, wait a minute, Sharran's doing all this work. And I bet there's a lot of things that he talked about he didn't even put on this page. There's so many things on this page. I don't even know what's on this page. And he's going to do all this work. On the top, we only have to do these three things. Man, he's really taking care of us. What am I doing there? I'm showcasing the complexity but delivering the simplicity. I'm showing them, hey, you only have to do three things. I have to do 300 things. So now when you articulate your fee, it makes sense because they see the complexity of the process. What you're delivering there in this is effort. You're saying, hey, I'm taking on all this effort, but you don't have to. That's why I'm showcasing the complexity but delivering the simplicity. Here's part two of this puzzle. First part is effort. The second part is risk. So on the same timeline, the other thing that I would do is I would take a red magic marker and I would I would circle different points on the timeline for risk. I'd say, hey, and I would call it the average person. Like, hey, if the average agent, if they don't recognize this, it will break down because this is a risk point. I circle out another spot. If the average agent doesn't recognize this, it'll break it down. I'll circle another spot. If the average agent doesn't. So I circle all these risks. And I'm not lying. It's totally the truth. But what the client understands is now they're like, wait a minute, it's not just effort. Sharran has an understanding of this process because he's now able to see all the risks. He understands the risk. And I didn't even know these risks existed. Because now they know that if they were to think about, quote, doing it themselves or getting a budget option or hiring their Aunt Gertrude, they know that they probably are unaware as to how to do that thing. So the risk allows them to understand that you are a better choice because you showcased the complexity and you still deliver the simplicity, right? The second part is risk. The first part is effort. You show them that they're going to have less effort while you're going to have a lot of effort. Number two, you showcase the risk. This is just your expertise. You don't have to do anything extra, but now they know that you can help them look around the corner and you have the expertise in this process. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or a coach or a consultant. You're showing them, hey, so if you're a coach or a consultant helping businesses grow and scale, you can say, hey, at this point, you're going to have an HR issue. At this point, you're going to have a payroll issue. At this point, you're going to actually need to switch from a C Corp to an S Corp or whatever. Like, you can do those things, right? Then they're like, wow, I didn't even think about any of that because you're showcasing the complexity and delivering the simplicity. The third part of this, I talked about effort, I talked about risk, and the third part of it is delight. Now, and only now, do you talk about only the things that they need to know, right? You can say, hey, Sharran, so if I was Sharran, the real estate agent who's helping a client buy a house, I could say, hey, the best part about this process is we keep everything really simple for you. Number one, we have a WhatsApp chat, and inside of the WhatsApp chat, everything that happens in this as you're buying the home, we have it there so that it doesn't bother your text messages, it doesn't bother your email if you want to contact our team in one place. So we make this process really easy for you. Second, every Friday I will send you one update on an email with a video. That way you know exactly where you are and the things that you need to do either before or during the home buying process. Number three, as soon as we get under contract, I will give you an update at key milestones and you'll always know what the next key milestone is. And I'll always give you a heads up because you don't have to worry about that process and I will manage it for you. Now they're like, this is so great because now you've added the delight. You've added the delight after you've shown the effort, after you've shown the risk, and then you add the delight. You just don't walk in and unintentionally say, don't worry, I'll take care of it all for you. That is the number one reason why the clients don't believe us and they think that we are full of hot air. So now if you're selling coaching, consulting, agency work, etc., it's all the same thing. What you want to do is you want to think about a timeline. The timeline is the process of where they are today and the way they want to get to. And you are the gap. Our job is to solve the gap. The gap has three components. It has effort, which there's complexity. It has risk, which they don't know or they need to know. And it has delight. And only when they can understand the complexity involved, the risk involved, and the delight involved, do they know a few things. One, they know you're the right choice. The client actually understands what they're paying for so that they don't negotiate your fee too much. And third, they become clients for life. And you know what the best part about having clients for life is? they become your evangelists. They refer you, they introduce you, they talk highly about you, they fight for you in rooms that you're not in, and that is irreplaceable. But if you just do a good job and make it easy for them, it's not enough. Your job is not to be a concierge. When I go to Vegas and I want to see a Cirque du Soleil show, I don't really care all the complexity that the concierge has to go through to get me a ticket. I know that it's the job of the concierge to provide me that service. I don't care. I will never go back and be like, oh my gosh, you got to work with Johnny the concierge. No. To me, all concierges are the same. They don't have to showcase the complexity because their service is baked into the job title that they have. But when you're walking in and saying and asking for a $25, $50, $100,000 fee, and you're saying, I'll take care of all of it for you, that doesn't work. That is not how that works. That is not the reason. That is the reason why we don't get the results that we want. This is the number one unintentional sales issue that I see often. The greatest salespeople who are so good at their jobs, if you're a CPA or an accountant or a real estate agent or a mortgage broker or a coach or a consultant, the thing that you're missing is you're unintentionally sabotaging your success because you're telling people that you're just going to delight them and you don't have the two other parts behind it, which is showcasing effort and showcasing risk. Because when you showcase the complexity and then deliver the simplicity, now you have clients for life. All right. So before I go, I have one more thing for you. But if you like this, can you do me a favor? Can you just screenshot this and tag me? That way I'll know I need to make more like this for you. But most importantly, the reason I'm sharing all of this is my heart goes out to really great professionals. I know so many service professionals that, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, coaches, consultants, insurance brokers that are so good at what they do. They can take care of their clients so well, but they unintentionally sabotage every sales process. They think, the average salesperson thinks they can just walk into an appointment, have a white yellow notepad, ask a bunch of questions because some dude told you that whoever asks questions is in control of the conversation, but they don't realize the actual part of presenting, actual part of showcasing complexity. And in the modern world, I've seen people who will start doing stuff like I do, which is they'll just pull up an iPad and start drawing. And that's okay, but you need to create silent overwhelm. You need to showcase complexity. Just drawing pictures is not the answer. Drawing pictures just means that you have ADD and you don't know how to break down the process. The key process is actually taking them through the process of showcasing effort and showcasing risk and showcasing delight. If you don't do those things, you're just another dude with an Apple Pencil writing on an iPad screen on a Zoom. And that doesn't sell anything. That's the problem. You can't just because you ask good questions and you can draw on an iPad doesn't give you any qualification to sell anything. And I'll tell you what's worse. What's worse is death by PowerPoint. Literally, people get on screen and they start showcasing their PowerPoint slides, but they don't realize that they have to showcase effort, they have to showcase risk, and they have to showcase delight. Because only when you do that do you showcase the complexity and deliver the simplicity. If you're not converting at the highest level that you want, you're probably self-sabotaging your success by just telling people that you can just get all of this stuff done for them. But you don't realize how complex this process is. You have to showcase the complexity and then deliver the simplicity. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. Please do me a favor. Take a quick screenshot, post it on social or whatever, tag me and say that you like this. That way I know you like this and I will make more like this for you.
Hey, this is Sharran. If you sell real estate, I have a cool gift for you. I packaged up my 7 best money-making trainings for real estate agents called the Top Agent Power Pack. It's raw and real, and it's 100% free as our gift to you. Just go to topagentpowerpack.com and grab it right now for free. That's topagentpowerpack.com.